Hi there, time for our latest Match Attax 2016-17 video. This time we're going to do something slightly different. What we're going to do is we're going to do a Richard v Jack score prediction battle, and if you get the right score, you get 3 points. If you get the right result, like the win or lose or draw, then obviously you'll get 1 point for doing that. We're also both going to pick 5 cards of players who we think are going to score during these 10 games this match week. Obviously if we get one of those correct, we get 5 points. If they score 2 goals, you'll get 10 points. If they score a hat-trick, you'll get 15 points, and obviously if they score more goals than that, obviously you get 5 points per goal. So obviously the first game tomorrow up is Sunderland against Arsenal. Obviously Sunderland are struggling at the moment, and obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so I think obviously fairly comfortably Arsenal will probably win this. I think the score will probably be 3-0 to Arsenal, and in this match I'm going to use one of my goal scorer cards. I think Alexis Sanchez will find the back of the net in this match, so I'm going to pick him as one of my 5 players to score.
And I reckon the prediction will be 3 to Arsenal and 1 to Sunderland. And I'm going to use another of my goal scorer cards. And it's, again, Alexis Sanchez. Hopefully that'll find the back of the net.
And we have obviously we both picked our 5 cards. I don't know what Jack's picked. He doesn't know what I've picked. So some of these might double up. But at the moment, obviously, he's gone for 1-3. I've gone for 0-3, and we both used our Alexis Sanchez goal card on this. In the next match, we have Manchester United against Burnley. Obviously, Man United lost 4-0 to Chelsea last weekend. Had a bit of a better result in the Cup against Man City in the week. Obviously, Mourinho and Manchester United are under a bit of pressure to do pretty well. So I think in this game, Manchester United, obviously Burnley, one of the lower teams. Obviously the way the games have gone in the last 18 months with Leicester winning the league, there's obviously no easy games in the Premier League, but I'd be fairly confident I think the Man United will win this one. And obviously at home they're going to want to put on a good performance for their fans, having lost 4-0. So I'm going to put this one down as another 3-0 victory, this time obviously to Manchester United. And I'm also going to use a goal scoring card here for Ibrahimovic. If you look at Ibrahimovic's stats over his career, he averages incredibly a goal probably about every 2 games. I think it's been a couple of games since he's found the back of the net, so he must be due one, and on that ratio 1 every other game. And I'm going to put him down as my scorer for this game.
I'm not going to use any of my scorer cards, but my prediction is Man U to win 2-0.
Okay, so we've both gone for a Man United win, and obviously Jack hasn't used his card on that. The next match we have is Middlesbrough against Bournemouth. Again, obviously Middlesbrough just come up from the Championship into the Premier League this season. Obviously Bournemouth, one of those teams that on their day could beat anybody, so potentially this could be a home victory just as easily could be a Bournemouth victory. And I think on that basis, because it's quite hard to split, I think I'm probably going to put this down as a 1-1. I think both teams will probably score, but I can't see either team particularly sort of being able to make anything too decisive on that. So I think I'm going to put this down as 1-1.
I'm going to slightly tip it. I'm going to go 1-0 to Bournemouth, and I've got no goal scorer card.
Okay, so we've got 0-1 for Jack in that game. And the next game we have Tottenham at home to Leicester. Obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, so difficult for me to put Tottenham down as being victorious. Obviously Jack's a Leicester fan. I think this one, obviously Leicester probably, obviously after last season, every game they play here, obviously when you're playing the champions, I think every team raises their game. Tottenham obviously pipped to the post. Leicester, they were right on their tails for a long way, so I think Tottenham will have a little bit to prove in terms of, because I think for a long time Tottenham and their fans thought they could probably win the league themselves. So I think Tottenham are going to really put in a big effort to win this game. Obviously they're missing Harry Kane still out injured, but I think Tottenham are going to win this one 1-0. I think Leicester, obviously because of the new rules where you can't grapple and hold people in the penalty area, otherwise you can see the penalty. I think Huth and Morgan got away with that a lot last year, and obviously now because of the new change of that, they a little bit leakier and they've conceded quite a few goals already. So I think this is going to be a 1-0 to Tottenham.
But I reckon that Leicester are going to win 2-1, and I'm going to use one of my goal scorer cards. I'm going to pick Riyad Mahrez to score because last season he scored loads of goals, and he can just show how he can score, and that's why he got the PFA Player of the Year award last year.
Okay, so Jack's gone for 1-2. I've gone for 1-0 in this match. The next game we have Watford against Hull. Again, two of what would probably be considered the lesser teams in the Premier League. Watford and Hull, again, I mean, on their day, I mean, Hull got off to a reasonably good start with a couple of victories. I think they've been struggling a little bit since then. Watford, again, I think probably really difficult to pick a decision on this. I think I'm going to put this down as a 0-0. Simply because I think they're probably both reasonably well set up defensively, and I think it'd probably be quite a tight game. I don't think either team would particularly want to lose, so I think I'll put this one down as a 0-0.
I will go for 2-1 to Watford.
Okay, so 0-0 for me and 2-1 for Jack. Then the next game we have is West Brom against Man City. West Brom, again, another team that seems to be struggling a little bit this year. Again, Manchester City obviously lost in midweek, and after winning the first 6 games of the season, I think the stat after they lost to Manchester United was it's Pep Guardiola's longest run of games without a win. They're now on 6 games without a win. Guardiola and obviously Manchester City, the two of those two combined, difficult really to see that sequence extending and going any further. So I think Manchester City are probably due a win. And again, obviously on the basis of everything I've just said, I think Manchester City and Guardiola will be setting themselves up to be fairly attacking. I mean, let's face it, look at the players they've got. It's difficult for a team like that with Aguero and Sterling and all the attacking players they've got in there not to be set up to attack. So I think this is going to be 4-0 to Man City. And I think I'm also using one of my scorer cards, Aguero. Again, I think he's gone a couple of games without scoring, so again, must be due a goal. So I'm going to use that card in this match as well.
He's basically copied me because I was going to go 4-0 to Man City, and I was going to make Aguero score in the back of the net.
And like I say, we've both independently sat down and worked these out, and as it turns out, I mean, there'll probably be a few overlaps of decisions and things, but we'll tally everything up at the end and see who gets the most right. And the next game on Saturday, we have Crystal Palace against Liverpool. Again, Crystal Palace, another one of those teams that you look at them and think they're playing really well, but don't necessarily always get the result. And then you'll see them play one of the big boys and they'll win 2-0. They're just one of those teams that on their day you can potentially beat anyone. Obviously now with Benteke up front, makes a huge difference. A player like that from nothing can win you a game, score you a header from a corner, or literally from any point they can make a difference in the game. But again, Liverpool, I think the way Liverpool are playing, they're attacking 4 or 5 attacking midfielders and strikers. I think probably up there, probably to rival anyone currently at the moment. A little bit suspect, perhaps at the back. So I think Crystal Palace might score, obviously, like I say, with Benteke, but I think, again, this will probably be an away win. So I'm going to put this down as a 1-2. So Liverpool to win 2-1 in this game. And I also have Coutinho here as a goal scorer in this match.
I've got no goal scorers, but I reckon Crystal Palace will score 1, but I reckon Liverpool will win 3-1.
So Jack's gone for 3-1, and I've gone for 1-2. And then The next match we have is Everton against West Ham. Obviously Everton with their new manager, seems to be a revitalised team. Obviously West Ham with their new stadium, under a bit of pressure. I think obviously finishing 6th last year, they sort of raised the expectation level on the club, and also like I say with the new stadium, finishing 6th. Though obviously the whole sort of season for them all started going a bit awkward when they failed to beat a relatively unknown team to qualify for the Europa League. They've had a few good results here and there, but I think on the whole they've sort of struggled. So I think on that instance, I think it's difficult to see any other result than this other than an Everton win. I think I'm going to put this down as a 2-0 to Everton.
I'm going to go 3-1 to Everton.
And no goal scorers.
No goal
scorers in this one. Okay, and then the other game on Sunday, we have Southampton against Chelsea. Again, two teams. I mean, Southampton again potentially could beat anyone. They've got for the last 5 or 10 years, every single time you look at a Southampton team, there'll be a lot of names that aren't necessarily household names, but a lot of players that have got a lot of ability, play well. They seem to play well as a team, and always for the last 5 or 10 years have always done pretty well in the league. Chelsea again, obviously with their new manager, a little bit of pressure on him, and obviously Chelsea again on their day with Costa, Hazard, Willian, players like that can win any game at any time. So on that basis, I think obviously because Southampton's set up pretty well defensively, I'm going to put this one down as a 1-1, but I'm going to put this one down also with a goal scorer there for Willian.
I reckon the score is going to be 3 to Chelsea and 1 to Southampton.
So,
and I've got 2 goal scorers. Well, because Costa has been having a great season this season, and because I know Hazard could score because now them signing Kante has freed him to get more up the pitch, which we know that he can score goals from 14-15 PFA Player of the Year award.
Okay, and then so moving on to the final game for this week, which is the Monday night fixture. We have Stoke against Swansea. Obviously this game, again, Stoke again on their day set up reasonably well and can nick a goal here, there, and Arnautovic particularly, after a couple of decent goals last week, not Arnautovic, Shaqiri, after a couple of good goals last week, and again Swansea, I think Swansea, ever since they lost Bonnie, have always struggled. They rely, I think, quite heavily on Sigurdsson to either create or score. So again, I think I'll put this one down as probably a 0-0. Yeah, just simply because apart from, I mean, Shaqiri's probably one of those players who's probably good for 6 or 8 goals a season. Scored 2 last week. It's probably unlikely. Arnautovic again reasonably good, but I think I'll put this down as a 0-0.
I'm going to put it down 2-1 because I know that Stoke can create loads and loads of chances, but I know Fabianski isn't that really good in goal, so I reckon that Stoke, when they got their chances, they will get a couple of past them, and so I reckon
2-1.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do one of these videos every week now, all the way to the end of the season, and we'll keep a little chart, a little tally of who wins, whether Jack can win or whether I can win. Like I say, it's a point for getting the correct score, get the correct result, 3 points for the correct score, and then 5 points if your designated goal scorer manages to score a goal, and every goal thereafter they'll get 5 points. So please like, subscribe, give us any feedback, any ideas, and we'll see you soon.